Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to The Sphere. This episode is sponsored by
Dr. Taraya M. Richmond, PLLC. When it comes to your family's health and women's services, and you're looking for excellence in healthcare, look no further than your family medicine physician, Dr. Taraya M. Richmond, PLLC. Call Dr. Richmond today at 713-453-6962 to schedule your next appointment.
Looking to advertise? Join the Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today to advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789. KOG & Company. Are your unique gifts and talents changing the world? Do you desire to belong to a community of unity? Visit KOGpassion.com to learn more about the Unleash Your Dopeness movement.
Hey guys, welcome to the Docs. We're back. It's another beautiful Monday or whatever day you're listening to this amazing podcast, but we're live back on the Docs, and this is your home for relevant medical information presented with a twist with your fabulous hosts. You can join us here once a week for riveting content. I mean, riveting content about medical topics, medical news. We digress a lot. It's really, really fun. But you can expect to hear about 30, 45, an hour, depending on just how live it gets up in this camp. But we're probably the realest doctors you know, and we're going to tell it like it is. And just if you don't know, you can join us on thesphere.tv. So www.thesphere.tv. And you can do that on Facebook, or you can join us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and many other platforms. We're actually internationally known. We are your international docs. But we have an amazing show today, and just if you don't remember, I'm Dr. Kwanzaa, MD. I'm your board-certified ER physician, your DJ doctor. We're putting it down. And I wanted to open up the show today and just say hello and give you guys a great big welcome. Thank you for joining us. And with that, we're going to hop right into it and introduce our other hosts. And what's up, Dr. Keisha? How you been?
I am doing wonderful for a Monday. It's Dr. Keisha. I am board certified pathologist, cytopathologist, dancer, and health enthusiast. So you can catch me on Facebook at Dance Health Fitness, and you also can check me out on Instagram at KYD_dance. How are you doing, Miss Lady? I love the way your skin looks. Like just
Thank you.
bright,
Thank you.
clear.
Thank you. It's
Not too much makeup on?
No, I don't have any makeup on today.
Love it.
None. Now I was actually thinking about this on the way here because I was like, do I go ahead and fake like I looked all like had do my makeup right before I got here and fake like I looked like this all day? And I was like, nah, I'm gonna go in there ashy lips and all. So yeah, no, for real, ashy lips. I am Dr. Ashandra Batiste. Thank you, Dr. Keisha.
You're welcome.
I'm actually using a different skincare routine, so you and I will talk for sure. I'm Dr. Ashandra Batiste. I'm a dentist. You could have found me approximately 30 minutes ago at my dental practice, which is around the corner. For real. No, seriously. No, absolutely. Like, I polished a filling on my way out. Elite Dental Wellness is where you can find me. It's at the corner of Fondren and Westheimer. You can call my office. It's 713-789-8680. Or you can follow me on Instagram at hotdoc.com or Facebook, Twitter, and, all the other ones, just Ashandra Batiste. Of course, I'm always happy to be here. We have a great topic today.
Yes.
Dr. Uzo is here as well. And
what's up, everybody?
Uzo is back.
He's back.
I'm back.
Yeah, we actually have
Took a week off,
testosterone.
but I'm back. Excited to be
it
back
feels
with you
good to have the
guys.
testosterone back in the building.
A little bit, not too much. Just a little bit.
You don't want, so you're saying you don't want us to bring in another male co-host?
Exactly. I'm good. I got this spot on lock. Let it be known. What's up, everybody? Glad to be back. Good to see you guys. Happy that you guys come back to tune in with us. My name is Dr. Uzo Oswagu. I'm a recently board certified anesthesiologist. It feels good to say that. And a pain management physician. You can find me on Instagram at UZO_MD. We have a very special guest today that I'm super excited about sitting to my left. That's going to help us get into our topic, none other than Dr. Vanessa Agwu. Welcome.
Hi,
How are you?
Thank you so much for having me.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
That's right.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. We're excited to have you here.
I'm Dr. Vanessa Agwu. I'm a third year now. Started yesterday. I'm officially a third year, July 1st. Resident physician, pediatrics.
Yes.
At UT Houston. So I have 364 more days of residency. Who's counting?
Not that anybody's counting.
No
Yeah.
one's counting.
Nobody's counting.
Yeah.
Everyone except Vanessa.
I was born in Austin, raised in Houston, so this is home, and I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
We are excited to have you here. Dr. Agwu is going to sort of help us get into all things sort of summer safety. I know the summer is already kind of in full swing. Kids are out of school. We're going to get into that a little bit more as the show goes on. But first, doing our On This Day In segment. So on this day in 2012, the pharmaceutical company, huge company, GlaxoSmithKline, paid $3 billion to settle a lawsuit for their unapproved use of antidepressants and diabetic medications. Billion with the B.
In what regard? Like, what do you mean?
Basically, some of their studies and research were not really founded, and so they had a lot of unapproved and off-label uses for these medications that went out and were used. And
It's probably one of those commercials where, sorry, we on the mics.
Yeah.
It's probably one of those commercials where they're listing a drug and then you're like, oh, okay, that sounds
Side
reasonable.
effects.
And then the side effect page is about is longer than the actual commercial.
Absolutely.
So you know what? Good riddance on that. That's
So
horrible.
they were using antidepressants as for diabetes.
No. Not that they were using them for the right things, but they were that basically a lot of their research and development and stuff was not really able to be verified.
Oh,
So they had a lot
so
of
wait, how does that
unapproved
even happen?
That's a great question.
Because like the FDA is supposed to like stamp it, right?
Right.
And getting those things stamped is a whole
It's a long
process.
So how does
So
something
is it
slip
just
through the cracks?
well? Is it because it was GlaxoSmithKline that it was their drug, and so it was kind of like they're solid.
And
I'm just
To
wondering.
be honest, I mean, a lot of these pharmaceutical companies are very well known. They have a very good reputation in their industries for whatever drugs. So I think, especially too, when you think about politics and lobbies, I mean, a lot of these people are supplying a lot of money for these different companies and politicians as well. So a lot of times something may just sort of slip through the cracks that ordinarily would get
who
caught.
took the dough? Who took the dough?
But no,
I want to know who took the dough.
Who did it?
This is a kind of a topic that we can go off on and go on to a tangent really quickly because seriously, like all of this kind of discussion about how medicinal can work for so many things, but
It's a hot
yet
topic.
it's a hot topic.
is.
But yet you have this is a $3 billion issue, like a $3 billion lawsuit. Like this isn't something that was made in a lab.
Right.
It was something that was made in a lab that caused serious problems. Clearly a $3 billion problem versus something that's grown that can maybe help solve. It all comes down to follow the money.
I just wonder who blew the whistle. That's
Oh,
what I want to
I
know.
would have blown
Somebody
the
was
whistle.
That's what I
not
wanna
happy. It was
know.
like, okay,
Who
you
did
know
it?
what?
Yeah,
Which
I
is
would've blown
awesome.
it.
I mean, hats off to you for, taking that plunge against big business because I know all of us in medicine know that there's so many loopholes with these drugs, these pharmaceutical companies, even despite new regulations, stuff can get out of control, and it's really disappointing to see a seemingly big oversight. We'll call it an oversight that is now costing billions, but thank goodness for the well-being of the general public and patients who don't have to suffer maybe as a result of these complications or problems.
Right.
It's crazy.
And I mean, I think it's I get people that come into our clinic every day that, we talk about medications that we're going to start or prescribe, and I read this side effect, I read this, and I'm like, you want to give people confidence that they can, these drugs are highly regulated. It's a very long process to get these things approved. So it sort of makes you, think a little bit harder and look closer at some of these things. So
Yeah,
Anyway.
well, then you also have the patients that are like, I don't want to take anything.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to take anything.
Okay,
You
what you wanna
know,
do for you then?
I have right, and I have the patient that comes to the office and blood pressure is like 178 over 112, and I'm like, she's like, I don't like taking drugs, and I'm like,
Right.
and then they have like they go back and they're like, well, they have all
Yeah,
this
they got a
research
deal, yeah,
that
absolutely.
proves why they shouldn't take anything, and I'm
Right.
like, but you're gonna like stroke out on me
Right.
right here,
Right.
so just kind of I feel them.
Yeah.
I feel it. It's
I think
tough.
it's hard to explain that away. I mean, it's like when you hear cases like this
Yeah.
or judgments like this, it's hard to make a reasonable argument that everything that you're prescribing is safe. We just trust the process, but due diligence on everybody, and hats off to our whistleblower here.
Yeah.
I love it.
We appreciate you. We're going to get right into talking about what Dr. Agwu's here to educate us about summer safety. We just have 4th of July week, and I guess it's coming up kind of on a weird day, on a Wednesday. So
You
maybe
can celebrate it
you
twice.
grilled
if you
out on
wanted
the
to,
weekend.
yeah.
Oh, really?
You
Like
can celebrate
if you
twice.
think about it,
That's
you
right.
can celebrate like the weekend before, the
Wednesday,
week of,
week
and
after.
the weekend
Exactly,
after.
exactly.
Why limit
It
yourself?
may be better this way actually, for it to fall smack
That's right.
dab in the middle of the week. Yeah.
But I think this conversation comes at a good time. Like I said, I know summer's in full swing already, but now's the time where if they're not already, you're going to be grilling out. Kids are going to be at the pool. You're going to do fireworks. So lots of opportunities for things to happen. Let's talk about pool safety first. That was one of the things that I was
safety.
kind of most interested in. So talk to us a little bit about that.
So for summer's a great time, I
Yeah.
think, for all kids. Now with the advent of technology, it's been really hard for kids to be able to go out and actually exercise, work out, do all that stuff. So summer's fantastic, and swimming is that too. But the second leading cause of death for kids ages 1 through 4 is drowning.
What's the
and
first?
Other unintentional accidents,
Okay.
such as motor vehicle accidents and burns and stuff like that. So all of it is accidental.
1 and 2
But
are accidental.
Yes,
Wow.
but we really need to be more diligent when it pertains to our kids. And so with 4th of July coming, I'm sure
Yeah.
everybody's going to be around the pool, which is fantastic. I'm all for. But I think parents and all the supervisors, lifeguards need to be almost on edge, almost like, what can we do to make sure everybody gets home safely? Because it literally happens in a blink of an eye, if you really think about it. Half the parents that we talk to, they say things to the like of, I turned my head for 1 second.
Yeah.
And that's where it really, it really touches you, because their whole life changed just by turning around for literally a second.
Right.
So we have the Academy of Pediatrics has a couple of guidelines that we'd love for people to follow if they, have a little bit of time.
Guidelines.
Yeah.
Before you
Yeah,
jump
hang
into
on to
those
that.
amazing
sorry.
guidelines.
Get their paper and pen.
Yes,
We gotta
we
get
give me
our paper
time.
and
I
pen
apologize.
together,
Yeah.
because this is gonna be some good information.
That's right.
And one thing we have to do on this show is to give a great big shout out to our sponsors. And so this portion of the show is sponsored by none other than Dr. Taraya Richmond, who's amazing. She actually had a book signing this weekend that I got to DJ. So amazing physician. So finding excellence in healthcare is no easy task. When you begin that journey, look no further than your local family medicine physician, Dr. Taraya Richmond, PLLC. Dr. Richmond offers an array of services, including pap smears, breast exams, STI screenings, contraceptive management, prenatal care, and so much more. Call Dr. Taraya Richmond, PLLC, to schedule your next appointment today at area code 713-453-6962. So when something comes up in just a moment, as we're about to get into, and you need some help with guidelines, I'm sure she got you, okay? All right, we're going to jump back into it.
Oh my God, yeah. So when the kids go to the pool, there needs to be supervision at every moment. If they're less than about 4 or 5, it needs to be what we call touch supervision. So you need to be within an arm's length of the child at any point in time. We recommend swimming lessons for any kid above the age of 4 or 5, but now they actually have swimming lessons for kids 6 months old.
Wow.
So, which kind of freaks out. Yeah. Wow. So those type of swimming lessons are more like survival techniques, to be honest with you. And now it turned into an internet sensation. So I'm sure you can go on YouTube and find a couple of videos out there, but they are really quite unsettling. But what they end up, because the kids are like crying, but they're they're alive. But essentially what they teach the kid to do is flip onto their back at 6 months old and pedal their little feet to the edge until somebody hears them crying, which is quite brutal, but the kid's alive. And I think therein lies the big difference.
Some of the worst cases that I've seen in the ER, involve children drowning, and it's so sad, and it's traumatizing to us as physicians, as caregivers.
Elijah coming through.
And this is an awesome video showing that, but I applaud the efforts and these teaching efforts to get kids in a better position to help themselves if they are ever in that position, because that is like probably one of the worst things you can ever see as a physician, a provider, and obviously for parents. I mean, there's nothing worse than have to tell a parent, they're not going to make it.
Yeah. Let me ask you another quick question that I was curious to see if you've seen this so far in residency. So when I was sort of looking some of this stuff up, there was a lot of sort of information regarding like racial and ethnic differences with regard to propensity for drowning or near drowning events. Have you seen that in your couple of years here in training, or what has your exposure and experience been?
Not so much. The drowning victims that we see span a large array of kids, and some of the drowning victims that we have could swim and can swim. It just depended on what kind of happened on that day. There is a big difference that has historical roots as to African Americans not learning how to swim compared to our white counterparts, and that goes back to the 60s and being allowed to go to mixed pools, colored pools, whatever you wanted to call them at the time. And that's kind of, had its bearings in the 60s, and now we kind of see it today, even though I think it's actually improving. But no, as far as that's concerned, I've seen it all.
And I mean, because I know growing up, like my parents didn't know how to swim. And so because of that, we weren't swimming lessons and things of that nature was not at all.
Y'all didn't have swimming lessons growing up?
No.
I did not have any swim lessons. No? My sisters taught me. Like,
so but you do know how to swim now.
Yeah.
I know how to swim now.
Right.
Yeah.
Swim well enough.
Yeah.
To get from like point A to point B. Yeah.
Yeah. So like you can swim well enough.
Yeah.
Okay, Kwanzaa, can you swim? Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like for me, my parents could swim. My mom couldn't swim until she was an adult, but my dad, even though it was the same thing, segregation, all that, like he was a country kid, so they like taught each other how to swim, right? They're like that whole boys throw each other in the creek and that kind of stuff, right? But my parents were very much like, oh, you can walk, you're gonna learn how to swim.
Exactly.
Right? And so like I'm the chick that's jumping off of like the catamaran into the ocean. Like I'm that girl, like then I'm like, wait, y'all aren't coming with me?
Did you jump in Jamaica?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
But I jumped.
Did it hurt? Did it
only
hurt?
jumped off of the little guy.
Okay.
I am afraid of heights.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. There was I wanted to jump. It was not probably the best for me to jump at that time.
Okay.
Because I had enjoyed the day fully.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, my better self was like, no, I'm not gonna jump.
Yeah.
We're talking about Rick's Cafe in Jamaica. They have this huge jump off point, and so I was just curious.
Yeah. No, I jumped off of the lowest one that you can jump off of.
Yeah.
Because I'm petrified of heights. Like if anything's gonna slow me down, there's nothing much but heights. But heights.
Yeah.
Heights.
Yeah. Same.
Nothing else. Like I'll be like, oh, you want to jump into like shark infested waters? Go.
Nah.
But heights. Oh Lord. Oh God, no. Well,
but when you walk up there, it's so high.
It's so high. Like it's like it's petrified. It's oh my God. Like I was trembling, and then someone needed like my doctor care, so I jumped in, and so I felt way better about it. Right? Like he had this huge sliver of a glass in his foot, and he kept going deeper and deeper because they didn't understand how to like stop it from moving.
Right.
So I was like, so do I jump or? And I was like, no, I get to jump. I won't jump. I get to save his foot.
This is my time. Right.
I didn't save his foot. I just helped him feel better. But it made me.
That's a good story.
She knows how to pull stuff out.
Yeah. I know how to pull it. I was like, take it. Hold on. Got to feel a little pressure. So of course, you want to hear more for Facebook Livers, you're going to have to follow us over and subscribe. We are very appreciative of you listening in. However, we're about to end it. So we need you to subscribe to our show on all major platforms, including iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Stitcher. If you could kindly review our show with constructive feedback. If there's anything that you would like to hear more, if you have any ideas for guests, if you want to be a guest, by all means, give us a buzz. Share this feedback, this Facebook Live post, and the entire show with your friends and family. We all have somebody who knows somebody who has some kids. So if it's not you, it's someone. So please share it and donate to our mission to bring enriched and inspiring content each and every week. And you can donate at www.thesphere.tv/donate. So see you next week, or just continue to listen on the podcast.
Stay tuned.
Yes, please do.
Stay tuned.
So not to kill the pool thing for too much longer, but for those of you who do have children,
Yes.
what your kids know how to swim, obviously, right?
One does not, actually.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
What's the
dealing
story
with
behind that?
Well, my 15-year-old, he's been swimming forever, so he's like a fish.
Yeah.
However, the thing with them that I worry about is they like to play horse play.
Sure.
So let's see if we can grab somebody by their neck and dunk them,
Right.
type of thing.
Sure.
So they don't quite understand, okay, if you're dunking somebody and they stop breathing and you're
Right.
thinking it's all fun and games.
Right.
So I really have to pay attention to him more than her.
Yeah.
Her, however, I noticed the interesting thing is that we were at a party. People were around. She decided she was going to get in the pool and she can't swim. She hasn't learned, she has some issues with her
Sure.
coordination and stuff, so she hasn't learned how to swim, but she got in the pool. People around, nobody noticed that she went under. Literally, about 20 people. I had to run in with my clothes in, jump in, and pull her out.
Yeah.
And even when I pulled her out, nobody except the person I was talking to noticed that
Yeah.
I even done it.
Yeah.
So you
That's how it
have to,
happens.
I mean, even as an adult, I've had that happen at a pool party, just playing around. Somebody jumped on my back, and I was like, "Okay, girl." And
This isn't fun. This is not fun anymore.
And then my head started singing. I was like, "Hold on, wait a minute,
Right.
wait a minute." And finally, I just had to
Push her
kind of
off.
had to punch her in the in the butt. Actually, get her off of me. But I was just like, "Yo, I was about to drown. Did nobody see this?"
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
waving
yeah,
my
help.
hand, but it happens. It happens.
So the oldest two, so Logan's only 5, so he's can survive. He's
Yeah.
at survival point,
Yeah.
right? But Avery's a competitive swimmer, so she
she's
swims USA Swimming, so she's
She's
Wow.
yeah, so she's like the 3 black girls at the pool, 3 black
Yeah.
girls that
Yeah.
you're like, where's your daughter? Really? She's right there,
Yeah,
like
that one right there. Yeah.
the little Snicker bar. That's her, right?
Yeah.
So she's a competitive swimmer. She's been swimming since she was 3.5, something like that. Yeah. So
Nice.
and Quinn is 7 months, and we're actually looking to move soon, and all the homes require it. We're requiring a pool, and so she will be learning survival skills.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a nice first world problem.
Yeah.
I gotta
Oh,
have
we're
a pool
coming
in
to
my
the
house.
city.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're coming to the city.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that. That's I
No
think that's a lot of
problem.
good information for everybody for the summer, for 4th of July, to kind of keep in
You
mind
have to
with
be
kids.
obsessive about it. Just be obsessive about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's terrible.
Yeah.
But don't you think most of the time this may occur because people are also trying to chill at the pool?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and then for parents, it's just when do you get a break?
Yeah.
But I guess you really can't.
You really
You
can't.
can't.
Well, I was a YMCA day camp counselor. I remember.
Yeah.
And we used to go to the pool twice a day. And that's when pools stopped being fun to me. Because I used to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I
Yeah,
was just
yeah.
obsessively
Yeah.
down because I was like, I don't know what I would do.
Right.
Yeah.
I looked down and I only count 7.
Right.
So
yeah. Well,
it-
I'm going to interject with my What a Time to Be Alive
Yes.
now, because I think it just kind of goes with this. So my son had a pool party this weekend, and he's only 5. So you're talking about age range from that were actually in the pool 2 to 12, right? So it's a whole bunch of kids and a whole bunch of parents. Now, I did not offer alcohol, which is smart, right? I
Yeah.
wasn't like, oh, mom and dad's, here's the beer
Right.
and here's the juice, right?
Right.
So there was no alcohol. However, I did go to happyswimmers.com, and Happy Swimmers is not a sponsor, although they can be. I went to happyswimmers.com to hire a lifeguard,
Yeah. Wow.
actually a professional lifeguard. So the What a Time to Be
Nice.
Alive is the fact that I could have hired. They said 1 to 20. I could have had more if I wanted. 1 to 20 people in the pool at a time. for a professional lifeguard. She
Nice.
got there early. She left when she left, she was like, "All right, I'm leaving. So moms and dads need to be watching their kid."
That's
So
I didn't know that was the thing. That's
there you go.
amazing.
So
didn't
what a
know
time to
that.
be
Yeah,
alive
for
is
real.
the fact that these things are at our fingertips.
Yeah.
So there's at happyswimmers.com you can actually find not only lifeguards, but you can find private instructors for swim lessons. So when it's time for Quinn to start taking lessons, I'm going to go back to that website because literally they text me. I emailed them through the website. They called me, text me to confirm. It was only $175. Best money that you can spend.
Yeah, no doubt.
Right? For peace of mind.
Absolutely.
Right? So, like, yes, a lot of parents stuck around the pool, but the other parents were like, oh, there's a lifeguard?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to go
We're
sit
good. Yeah.
and eat me some pizza
Yeah,
and not have to worry about your kid.
Exactly.
Nice.
So, happyswimmers.com was a place that we went, and I can actually vouch for it. And, I mean, no, she did not know us, but she was very diligent.
Nice.
She actually was kind of actively playing with the kids, so you knew she just wasn't sitting there on her phone.
Yeah.
And she was a certified lifeguard. So God forbid
Good.
something would have happened.
That's
awesome.
She would have been the first one in the pool to go get the kid. And she was
Yeah.
also very good at being like, that's enough. Like, that's like,
That's it.
you know, like lifeguard at the pool with the whistle, like, stop jumping on each other, right?
Right,
You know,
right.
yeah.
That's
so
good.
So I'm just, it's that time that we can kind of be more diligent. If we are, even adults should have lifeguards at pool parties.
Definitely.
Yeah, good idea.
I mean,
Happyswimmers.com.
happyswimmers.com.
Okay,
there
so
you go.
All right, so speaking of advertising, if you're starting your business, you're looking for a place to advertise, do you have a need to reach out to thousands of people across the world to build your brand or sell your product? If so, get your product placement and advertising needs right here at The Sphere. We offer a wide variety of content, delivery platforms including iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Plus, we have a vast demographic reach within the U.S., as well as modern countries across the globes. So our enriched content and inspiring dialogue coupled with strategic ad is surely to hit the mark every time. So call us at 832-772-7789. That's 832-772-7789, or send an email over to advertise@thesphere TV.
Excellent. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Loved your transition there.
That was a very smooth
Seamless.
transition.
It was seamless.
That was smooth.
Yes.
Good job. Good job.
I think another thing that's real pertinent and kind of goes along with everything we're talking about is heat safety. I think every summer you always hear about poor kid who was left in the car and, you know what I'm saying, something, they don't make it. And so I don't know if these statistics, how current these are, but I was reading something, it's like 37 kids a year will
doubt it.
die due to a heat-related death. And a lot of times it's just because mom and dad maybe forgot that they were in the car.
And
right?
it happens so many times.
Yeah.
I mean, if you went to the grocery store and you were unpacking the groceries and you had, you know, little Billy supposed to take the kid out, or, you know, you got busy,
Right.
it could be hours before you remembered, you know, that somebody strapped to the car seat.
Yeah.
So they actually have alarms now on some of the newer cars that when you turn your engine off, it says check the back seat, which I thought,
That's good.
so that it won't happen. But Houston is really not a place where, you know, you have very much
You don't have a lot of time. Yeah.
in order to do that. So a lot of times it's people trying to either they purely forget, which I think those are
Sure.
oddly the saddest cases,
Yeah.
or they think they have a lot more time than what they really do, like
Yeah.
trying to really quickly run into the grocery store,
Right.
the gas station,
Right.
whatever the case may be, and they really don't. And then thirdly, here in Texas, obviously, you know, we're getting to football season, high school football season, and
Yeah.
kids largely just overheat.
Two-a-days and all that.
Two-a-days,
7-on-7.
and how much water can you drink? There's no AC outside. It's
Mhm.
I mean, the weather today is crazy, so it's all about staying hydrated and making sure that, you know, it's hard to remember, you know, how do you remember something unless you forget it?
Yeah.
So just being diligent in that as well.
Yeah.
It's hard to be
Kind
a parent in
of
the summer.
piggybacking off of like the time thing, and I'm sure obviously it varies from case to case, but what are sort of some of the factors for kids specifically where you may not have a long window of time for them to be left in a car, even just left outside, being outside in the summer heat? What are some of the things, for kids that sort of contribute to that?
Right. So honestly, it's about how, you know, diligent you're being with the kids. So, when I was playing as a little kid, my sisters used to make me come inside once an hour.
Yeah.
You have to come in once an hour, cool down a little bit, get some water, relax, and then you can go outside again. And so every kid, I don't know what different traits matters for, different kids, but largely it's all about staying hydrated and cool, especially here in Houston where our summers at noon, it's the heat index could be 106, 107.
Right.
So it's just all about being careful and making sure people are staying hydrated during the summertime.
Definitely.
Don't leave your animals in the car.
That's another huge thing.
In the car.
Yeah,
I
that's very
leave
true.
my dog with the air on. I know people think I'm crazy, but I'm like, they can't take it either.
Yeah.
Very true.
I'm an animal lover.
Yeah.
Sorry. It just made me think about that. But don't forget your pets, okay?
Yeah, no, that's all
I called the
real.
police on a pet too. Like when I saw a pet in the back seat, I was like, "Oh no!" But I had to do it in my car as I drove away because I was like, "I had snitches,"
Snitches, right?
We all know what happens to snitches. And that's sort of not with the snitching thing, but the whole staying hydrated kind of ties into what you were sort of going to talk about with. So kind of go into the fit tip of the day,
tip
of the week.
of the week. So HOT is the acronym HOT because it is hot here, it's hot outside, it's hot inside. So first, stay hydrated. When people work out, people think if I have my water next to me, I'm cool, I'm good. I believe in drinking all day long before you actually work out, because when you get to the workout, you shouldn't be having to drink while you're, doing your 20, 30-minute routine. So if you're hydrated before, by the time you work out, your body's good. And when you sweat, then you can just, maintain. You're not going to get sick. You're not going to pass out. It works every time. Then outside is O for hot. And that is to take your workout outside. I love working inside. I love working out at the gym. But it's so beautiful outside. There's so much you can do. Swimming breaks calories, right? Getting on the playground. Like when I'm with my daughter, I'm like, okay, I can do the monkey bars too. But as a workout, you can do a pull-up on the bar. You can hang upside down.
You can do a pull-up. Let's be very clear. Okay, you.
I'm very proud. Today is like my number 2 day in the gym.
Yeah.
Like I've
Look
been
at
going
that.
2 days.
Getting that summer body right.
Hey, look at
The
you.
only one doing pull-ups.
Right.
I do pull up.
You can hang on.
Just one of them.
And then stay right there and engage your abs. Yeah, engage your abs, just hang.
It's a little effort.
Your
Just
mommy,
get
your
one in today.
daughter, your son will think you are the coolest mom.
Impossible. I mean, well, I'm already the coolest mom. However, I have zero to prove on a pull-up. I'll let you take
a
that.
Dax challenge. You gonna do it?
Man, no, impossible.
Come on, you
No,
know you're
if we
competitive,
challenge,
let's go.
then I'll do it. But other than that, I'm not
Get
gonna
by
do
the
it.
summer, right?
By the end of the summer.
Yeah.
Fall.
By
Maybe
fall.
by my birthday,
I
which is
don't know about
February.
that. I don't know about that.
Y'all be ready.
I just need a
Ready.
challenge.
Yeah.
And the T for hot is timing. So make your workout enjoyable, but also do it at a time of day where it's not too hot outside if you're doing it outside, or you're not too tired or in a bad mood. Or if you're watching Power, say, okay, I'm going to do my workout,
Hashtag Power.
and then I'm going to
I
watch
don't watch
Power.
Power.
Make a motivation.
I've never.
You don't watch? No.
Can we talk about Power?
It's one of
just
those
first? What is-
it's like an
no?
addiction that I
don't watch
don't want to
it.
have
I
an
don't watch
addiction
it.
to.
I don't watch it either.
Y'all need to
Sorry,
watch
we're getting on a little
Power.
tangent right now, but
I know, but
I don't
I
get the hype.
tried. It was so whack.
Yeah.
Is it-
I couldn't get into it either.
Well, whatever
tried.
show you like to watch.
It was whack.
It's
I
not
just
that
over here like,
bad.
yeah.
This is us. Whatever your
I love
show
every
is,
episode.
make the motivation to work out before that show.
There you go.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So if you're gonna work out, like your treat should be to watch Power.
Right.
Okay,
Yes.
gotcha.
Or not watch Power for you.
No, or not watch Power. Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever you like.
Right now, I'm not watching anything because I don't feel like I have time.
I really,
Oh.
well, I don't watch a lot, but I do watch certain things, and Power is
Is one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I mean, if Game of Thrones was on, I'd watch that. Right.
Right.
Westworld, I like Westworld.
Insecure's
Yeah.
coming back.
Insecure's
Just in
coming
case.
back.
Did you
Yeah.
watch
like
Empire?
no.
No, not that.
Mm-mm.
So you don't
That's
like
the
that
one. That's
kinda-
what I tried, and I
Yeah.
Couldn't get it.
Yeah.
What about How to Get Away with Murder?
Nope.
I used to.
Eh.
The first season 1 and season 2 I really liked, and then
then
it
it kinda-
turned into like this kind of nonsensical foolery and a lot of crying and snot flying.
This Is Us.
Can't get with that either.
Let's just talk about shit.
I literally just like,
This Is Us
I literally
is my
like,
favorite.
I was watching it,
right?
oh God, Jesus, what? Lord.
Elijah's like, let's reel it back in here.
Stuff is going on.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is too deep. I'm like,
Right.
I'm like,
Right.
Too interconnected.
This Is Us?
Feeling too much.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
You're like, I don't like all these
I
feels.
was like,
Yeah.
not right
I
now.
tried. I even tried when I was pregnant because I felt like I would be like more like emotional, and I was
Yeah.
like,
Right.
no, God,
Didn't
I was,
work.
woof, woof.
So, sort of piggybacking off of this. So we're talking about watching TV, staying inside, not getting out, doing your pull up. A couple of weeks ago, we were talking about like social media and how it sort of has honestly kind of made us antisocial. So talking about like summer and trying to get kids out and get involved. One, what have you guys seen as pediatricians with social media and kids, and how do you tell parents to try to motivate kids to get out and be active? And
Not even social media, just technology.
Yeah.
I think with the, back in the day, you had to be inside at your TV to have access, or at a later on was a computer. I'm not that old, but like the computer got a lot
You're
faster.
the youngest one at this
I
time.
know.
I'm looking
No, you grew up with a computer. Stop playing. But don't let her play you.
Oh my God, you 22.
she's like, I'm 24.
A little older.
Plus two.
I'm a little older. Okay, a little older. Finishing residency, do the math. But now with a cell phone, you can watch TV, YouTube, and you can take it everywhere.
Yeah.
So really, we recommend not much more than 5 to 7 hours of screen time in a week, which is really about only
Oh,
one.
I thought you were going to say in a day.
No. In a whole week's
That's
time,
cool.
and now we're including the cell phone, the computer.
You said 5 to
tab-
7 hours a week?
a week.
Wow.
Even that.
Yeah, for kids, because their brains are developing, and so it's really important to give them a book, have them go outside, talk to people. With the advent of all of this technology, a lot of times we're having a lot of speech delay because they're getting on the computer or the cell phone and they're seeing people talk to them, but they're not really speaking to anyone.
Yeah.
And I think it's made a lot of parents' lives easier because when a kid is crying and whining, you can really just give them their cell phone and it gets quiet real quick. You can find their favorite video on YouTube in 15 seconds. But we really need to teach kids how to self-soothe, have a conversation with them, what's wrong, have them explain themselves, and kind of go through that. Now with social media, I think not even just with kids, but I think even with
Everybody,
adolescents and
yeah.
adults, they found that it's actually increasing our kind of depressive moods because we're seeing everybody's highlight reel and trying to compare our lives
That's exactly what we talked about a few
to
weeks
that.
ago. Yeah.
And I think that that's having a negative effect on all of us in society, trying to portray ourselves in a way that isn't 100% accurate.
Hang on. I want you to hang on to that thought. We just got to give a shout out to our final sponsor, but that's a really, really good topic to continue to talk about. But this particular portion of the show is sponsored by KOG and Company. Are your unique gifts and talents changing the world? Unleash Your Dopeness is a people empowerment movement built to encourage the masses to operate outside of their fears and have the gall to recklessly pursue their dreams and passions in life. Join thousands of others as we unlock the greatness that dwells inside. Shop dope gear at kogpassion.com. That's kogpassion.com. And use coupon code DOPE for 10% off exclusive Unleash Your Dopeness apparel. Act now. Sizes are selling out fast.
So, if I say the word dope to my son, he rolls his eyes and looks at me like, that is so old, Mom.
Like, what, Mom?
Yeah, he does. I try to stay current with him. I try.
My mom tried to say lit the other day. I was like, who taught you that? You're Nigerian. Yeah. Like,
It's like what your mom says. Officially did. That's like officially did.
Yeah. So, anyway, continue on that.
So just with the advent of social media, I think it's increasing a lot of our depressive moods, whether it be for us. I think it's harder for kids personally, this hasn't been proven at all, but I think when we were all in middle school, high school, we went about our day and had nothing to compare our lives to other than, you know, the popular kids, unless y'all were one of them, or and you know.
Yeah, I didn't have that problem.
I mean,
Next.
clearly.
One thing about that too is that there's no, your mind is not active. I mean, you're not being stimulated out of being passive, and once that starts to happen, it's just like you're sedentary, and it's just, you know, like the law of motion, right? If you don't actively do something, you're not going to do it. And so once your mind gets in the habit of being passive, it's so easy to stay in that state. And for kids, you know, in a developmental stage, I mean, I'm sure that's very negative in terms of their development and how they
And what about as far as overstimulation with the brain? Because I think I have seen that a lot of kids, I've been hearing a lot of friends, their kids having tics, where you know that some tics are just short term in the teenage years, but I'm thinking if it's related to being on or being stimulated by all of this social media and just electronics.
You know, honestly, I don't know. I haven't seen really an increase in, you know, tics in kids, but I have no idea. I think it's going to be interesting in about 10 years from now, when we've had social media for about 15, 20 years by that point, to see how those kids compare to, you know, the kids of the pre-technology, pre-social media type era, to see what we can actively see now is there's a little bit of an increase of speech delay, and there's an increase in our obesity in our population, whether that has anything to do with food or the sedentary lifestyle or both. I think technology, social media, all of that has played a part.
Yeah, well, you know, I think one thing that Dr. Kwanzaa does a lot and sort of ties into this whole, you know, trying to find different ways and to feed that depressive mood or whatever is music, and using music as a tool for that. So why don't you give the people the music and medicine for the week?
Let's give music and medicine for the week. So the song I selected this week was related to summertime. I was like, what song?
Was it Will Smith?
Oh, of course. Summer,
I think that's the only one that matters.
About
really.
I mean, that was too easy. Okay?
No, you got to go for the easy
But she
layup.
may not even know that.
I do.
She may not know
No,
that song.
she wouldn't know that.
Summertime? Oh my God.
Hold on, let me.
Dr. Keisha, how old do you think I am? 40s. Of course, I grew up on that song. But I
Our
went
guest
a little
co-host,
deeper
however.
with
Yeah.
Right. See? That was not me, y'all.
Her mama taught her. Her mama taught her.
Absolutely. So mama's like our age.
No. So I picked a song by Miguel. It's actually called Waves, right? Because I was thinking everybody's on the ocean,
Yeah.
on the lake, they're chilling. And the point I wanted to bring out, and I'm going to post the link to the song later. Long story, it doesn't even matter. But the song is entitled Waves, and it's a really dope remix with a group out of LA called Times Impala. So y'all check it out. But what I wanted to talk about today is, look at production.
Elijah coming
Got
through.
it going.
He's been working on it.
So what I wanted to talk about is how do we encounter the waves that we experience in our life, right?
Yeah.
And so, ironically, I referenced Moby Dick by Herman Melville, which is a classic story in literature about Captain Ahab, who's fighting this whale who basically bit off his leg in a previous adventure. And basically, to his demise and to his death, he goes after this whale. Destroyed his boat, destroyed his crew, and all the whale got was a little spear in the side, rode off into the sunset, and Captain Ahab died, okay? So what is the point of this? Is how many times in life are we fighting against waves? How much are we fighting against nature? How much are we fighting against perceived beasts? And what kind of effect does it have on you? Because ultimately, in the end, whatever you find is going to get a little stab in the side, ride off into the sunset, and you're the one who's in demise, okay? Yeah. So the point I wanted to make about it is when you're living in your purpose, you ride the wave. When you're in your flow, you're going with the current, you're in alignment, you're following your purpose, and you're always going to ride the current back to shore. So you don't have to fight against waves in your life. You don't have to fight against waves that you perceive as challenges. Anything that you're moving up against, you know, through your faith, through whatever it is that you believe in, should help you to overcome that. And you should know that whatever you're going up against, if it's for you, the road should be a little bit smoother. And whenever you get to a point where you're just up against these huge waves, these huge obstacles, you're probably not going the right direction. So I encourage you, like Keanu Reeves in Point Break, get on your surfboard and ride it out to shore, baby. It's all good. So when you get a chance, check out the song. Remember to keep your head up, ride your wave out, and when you're in alignment, everything should flow smoothly back to shore.
That's
Nice.
perfect. I'm not sure that anything can follow that. That's perfect. That's good.
That was great.
So good.
Thanks.
That's awesome.
So good and so true.
Good job for trying.
Thank you for that, Jim. You more than tried. You killed that. Thank you, Vanessa, for coming through, too.
Yes,
We appreciated it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah,
I
absolutely. We
appreciate
enjoyed it. Again, if you guys want to continue to follow us, you know where to find us, at thesphere.tv, Google, Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play, excuse me. Next week, we're going to be kind of delving into some mental health issues that are obviously very pertinent.
we
The
are
ride
the
along,
ride along.
confirmed.
Do you have
so-
AC in your car? I do. Okay. I'm riding. Oh.
Who doesn't have a?
But stay hydrated if you don't, because we
Oh,
talked
yeah.
about that today. So thanks for tuning in. We'll follow you guys. See you guys next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.